You're not gonna believe this, but I messed up a haircut. Allow me to explain. Now, many barbers will lead you to believe that they're the best at cutting hair, they can do nothing wrong, they're the greatest, everyone's satisfied with their service. Now, I find that to be false, because if that were true, that would mean they would have way more clients than they could ever imagine. They would have way more clients than what they can actually deal with. If everyone loves you and everyone's coming back, then you should be charging $1,000 a haircut, or you should be making an abundance of money. You should just have a surplus, Scrooge McDuck, swimming in a vault of money. But that's not true. Here today, I'm gonna tell you about the story of how I messed up someone's haircut. Yes, me, the guy you look up to on the internet, here on YouTube. Yes, I messed up a haircut. Now, allow me to explain how and why. Now, the main reason why his haircut was messed up was client consultation. Now, this guy, I've never seen him before. He comes in the barbershop, he has long hair, not long hair like down to his shoulders, but about, I would say about maybe 4 to 5 inches on top and maybe 3 inches on the sides of length. And he asked me for a 3 on the top, 2 on the sides. So, and I asked him like, oh man, you're gonna cut all of this off? And he says, yeah. I was like, man, you're gonna cut all this off, wow. So I asked him, when's the last time he had his haircut? Because as barbers, we know, on average, hair grows about a ½ inch per month. And the last time he told me he had his haircut didn't match up to the length of hair that's on his head, based on the haircut that he wanted me to give him. And I asked him, last time, did you get the same haircut? And he says, yes. And it just wasn't adding up to me. I was like, oh, you are. And I put the 3 guard on top, because of course I'm gonna start with taking the hair down on top, and I gave him another chance to not walk through the door, and he said, yeah. And I go, zoop, 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 zoop. Finished cutting his hair, 3 on the top, 2 guard on the sides, you know, did the little edge up here. He didn't even get a front edge up. And all my real barbers know these haircuts did not take a long time. You could probably knock this haircut out in 10 minutes, maybe less. These haircuts, these types, do not take very long at all. So what do? I proceed to get paid, and he leaves. Now, this guy is around, I think 18, 19, an adult, okay, an adult. And he came with his brother, but his brother didn't get his haircut. Now, 5 minutes later, his brother comes back in, and he says, hey man, you know, he didn't ask for this, you know. He's like, oh, that's not right, you know, that's not right. His haircut, that's not what he wanted, and blah blah blah. Basically expressing his disgust of the haircut. Now, there's a lot of lessons in this. Now, before we get into the lessons, I proceed to tell him that, hey, he told me a 3 on top, 2 on the sides, and I did what he asked me to do. And I also said that I warned him, and I asked him over and over, are you sure you want to do this? This is the style that you want. Now, his brother goes on to say what he meant by 3 on the top, he means that he wants 3 inches of length on top and a 2 on the sides, meaning the 2 guard. Now, here, let's get into the lessons. His brother is a flat out liar, because think about what I just told you with what his brother said he wanted. A 3 on top, 3 inches, and a 2 guard on the sides. Now, if that makes sense to you, leave it in the comments below, because that did not make sense to me. Here's why. If you say you want a 3 on the top, 2 on the sides, you can't mix the 2. It's either 3 inches on top, 2 inches on the side. You can't say you want 3 inches on the top and you meant to say, no, I wanted 3 inches of length and then the 2 on the sides. No, not 2 inches of length, but the 2 guard. So the logic is flawed in what he is trying to interpret to me that his brother said that he wanted. Because if you're saying that he meant 3 on the top and 2 on the sides, meaning inches, that would mean I wouldn't have taken a 2 guard to the sides, which that's what he wanted. So his argument just didn't make sense to me. It was null and void. Now, another part of this lesson. Guys, as a man, you should be able to express yourself. You should be able to verbally say what you want. Best thing, customers, bring a picture to a barber. That's the best thing you can do, because talking in barber terminology, it's just gonna get you in trouble. If you're from the East Coast and you go to the West Coast, the terminology is different. You're going from the West Coast to the South, totally different terminology. You're going from Florida to Chicago, terminology is totally different. So customers, I do not recommend that you come into the barber shop and try to be cool and talk like a barber. It's not gonna work out for you in a lot of cases, because unless your barber really cares and is trying to decipher what you mean, and this is what I do with a lot of people, because I will have people that say, oh, I want a 00. Oh, I want a 0. What the hell does that mean? Guys, leave it in the comments below if you know what the hell that means. 00, 0. I don't know. Does that mean skin? Now, some people may mean 0 guard, and I've had, there's a reason why I'm saying this stuff. It's because I've run across these things where people say one thing, but they don't really mean it, meaning their terminology is completely off. Now, as a man, you need to be able to verbalize yourself. Why is your bigger brother coming in here defending your honor? You should be able to come in here yourself and say, hey, but once the hair was gone, there was nothing I could do. There's no putting the hair back on. I'm not doing man weaves. Now, I'm gonna leave a link in the description to a video that I did. I was messing around with one of my clients on one of the haircut tutorials that I did. I'm gonna leave a link in the description, or maybe I'll leave it in the pinned comment. I attempted, but I wasn't gonna do this, to buzz all of his hair off. Watch his reaction at the very beginning of that video. He was like, whoa. See, do you see the difference? There's a clear difference between being passive and being active. He actively knew that I was about to buzz his damn hair off. But what did he do? He reared back and he was like, whoa, which tells me like, no, stop. This guy, I do it and he's like, oh yeah, that's good. Stop with this passive aggressive stuff, as guys. Be very direct and be forward, get your message out there and let the barber know what you want. Now, last part of this message is, I messed up. I messed up. As wrong as the guy was, at the end of the day, I'm wrong, because he did not get what he wanted. He's not satisfied with what he wanted. He didn't get the haircut he wanted. So I messed up his haircut at the end of the day. But I'm right at the end of the day, but I'm wrong when it comes to the satisfaction of the customer. So therefore, I messed up his haircut, and there's no coming back from that. So this is the lesson for all of you. Client consultation, 1, have your clients bring pictures. 2, and when I mean by pictures, I don't mean they show you a picture of the side and that's it, or some weird angle. A picture that can clearly define what they're asking for. Like, oh, okay, I can see the fade drops here in the back. Oh, okay, yeah, you want that lineup like this. Oh, okay, I can see the length on the top of the hair and how it's styled. Okay, great, we'll do that. Not some picture of, ooh, I want a drop fade with, a crispy line, but they send you a frontal shot where you can't see the fade on the sides, and you're just like, what, is that a low fade? Is that a mid fade? Is that a drop fade? Is a low? I can't tell, right? So have your clients bring pictures. Lesson number 3 for you clients: speak up for yourself. Please don't be that scary person that's scared to talk and all of this other craziness. But I hope you guys learned some lessons from my mistake, because again, if I was the greatest, I don't proclaim to be, and a lot of barbers do claim that they're the best, they're the greatest in their city, their town, their state. If that's true, you would have so many clients, you would know what to do with. So leave some stories of yours in the comments below. I'm curious to know some of your barbershop stories. Leave your stories in the comments below of times that you messed up on someone's haircut and it was completely your fault, whether you were justified or not. It's been your man I Do It signing out. I'll holler.